Okay, so thank you. At least we have not discussed many important but types of IPR. There are copyrights and related rights, and another one is industrial property rights. The copyrights, many things in every day we are seeing like if strict copyright action will be taken if it is video is reposted or many things will come. Even if you are handling YouTube channel, there are many things are you have to take care before publishing your video. Like any art images are you are using that also copyright violated. You know, for example, you published your paper. Even though you generated image, we need to submit one form called as copyright form. Like we have to give copyright permission for them. Means you are completely giving your authority to publishers, journals. If you want to use also, you need to take permission from the journals. You know, you have to cite them. You are provide if one data is published in one journal, you're putting the same data in other journal. It's a copyright violation. See, they are very stringent action. Actually, that we have to read. These one things are in detail. In foreign countries, you know, we take along with the law. What happened? Now screen is visible.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
For example, in US or any different developed countries, if you have a degree with the law, they are more preferable than with normal degrees. Any degree, like for example, software engineering. Along with software engineering, you made a law course, they'll more prefer you actually. Because legal things are very, very important in nowadays, actually. Like many issues will come. In PPFRA also, we have finding jobs like research associate jobs. Mainly how to deal with the legal things only. How to attend the court proceedings, what are the laws are there, and how to deal with it. It's very, very important to know. Okay. But now, as of you, we discuss what are the different things are there in the IPR and what are the like I will tell some examples also like what India has faced. Like, I will tell some classical examples so that you will understand better. Then industrial property, there are trademarks,
Sir,
geographical
once go to
indications.
previous slide, sir. It might not record it.
No, it is just a definition. Okay. It's just a definition. Don't then industrial properties, there are trademarks, GIs, then industrial designs and patents, layout designs, undisclosed information. We'll discuss one by one. Then, why all these things? We told, I told what is the definition or the types are there. Why actually how it started? All IPR, how it started actually. Remember, knowing the history is very, very important. When it started, when the IPR getting more importance. Actually, earlier in 1900 only, in 1800 only, there is a concept of IPR in different countries. But in global level, got importance when there is a one treaty was signed, General Agreement on Tariffs and Trades. It was established in 1947 to harmonize the trade between the various nations. Then, like when there is a trade between the countries, they started harmonizing the laws. For example, if the patent law is in India is different from patent law in other countries, like to bring the harmony between the different countries to make trade in a smoother way, this agreement was signed, and it also deals with so many intellectual properties. But although in most of the countries it is not implemented, then again one organization was established called as WTO organization in 1st January 1995. Like 123 nation has participated. That Uruguay round, then they will become the member of WTO. Then all the countries have came into one consensus, so that okay, we will implement several laws so that we will protect the inventions. For example, if somebody is bringing invention to your country, if there is no protection in your country, then how you will come and how will get profit? Same thing is happening in the seed industry also. Like we have extensive farmers' rights and very less concerned about breeder rights. That's why countries like big seed companies are uh, reluctant to come to India. Although Indian seed got very good boom, but although the developed nations were actually forcing us to sign these treaties, where they're imposing lot of sanctions if you not implement all these laws in your country. There are several geopolitical tensions were there. That's why India also has implemented nowadays IPR laws in our country. But IPRs are very less stringent in our country. But in US or any other developed countries, a small IPR violation it leads to lot of fines and even imprisonment. You have to pay a lot of things if you are violating any IPR laws in the US condition. But nobody cares about IPR in the Indian condition. But there are in a big matter like in a if it is the for example, if the case is very big, then only everybody will concern about IPR. But if it's small things like varieties, nobody will concern about. But in US, it's a very stringent. Like in developing nations, actually, it is not that much stringent. IPR laws. Okay. Then we'll discuss something about WTO. Actually, what happens after World War? What happened? There is establishment of United Nations Organization. Then from that day, there are several rounds were happened to bring harmony in the trade between the countries. Means trade is a very important thing in the universe which maintains the peace in the nation, the peace in the globe. To bring this harmony between the like countries in the trade, there is one organization was established called WTO organization. You know how many rounds? Please read about this. It's very important. There are several rounds were happened from 1947 to 1995. The last Uruguay round, it has they came to consensus and they started this one. Then in that one, there's one agreement was TRIPS agreement was signed. Means every country has to implement these laws to protect the intellectual property rights. Then only they could able to get some benefits of this WTO agreement. If they not follow, they will remove you from the WTO and you have to face sanctions. Like like free trade agreement, there are a lot of things will be there. Na? They will sanction you from that, and your country will going to loss. That that's how actually developed nation created this fear in the world. Then, but they have also given 5 years grace period for the developing nation. See, most of the IPR laws actually amended or implemented after 2000. You observe, take trade like Geographical Indication Act, take any act related to IPR, most of the were implemented. PPFRA, all they are implemented about 2000. Why? India has took time. India took the advantage of this uh, provision. Like, it got 5 years and 10 years extension also to implement the laws. Okay, that's why it actually very stringent. Like when you're reading a polity, you're going to get all these things actually, like economy. Okay. Then what is the main principles of this World Trade Organization is? One is most favored nation treatment and national treatment. Means what is most favored national treatment means equal treatment for the nations of all trading partners in the WTO. For example, now Trump is actually giving reciprocal tariffs, increasing the tariff rates. Why is doing all those things? Because most of the countries were not following the most favored nation treatment. For example, in your country, we are giving lot of subsidies to our domestic products, like domestic industries, like Tata cars. We are giving lot of subsidies, and we are taxing less for the domestic industries. But if the same car is imported from the US or any company, we will impose lot of tariffs, and there will be lot of tax upon it. It is like we are making difference. We are treating other countries in a different way, our own products in a different way. But according to trade agreement, it should not be done. There are some provisions for developing nations, but according to this one WTO treaty, even it is from the US or even it is from any country or our country, you should treat all the things in a same way. Means you should equal tariffs will be there, equal tax will be there, like that. There are some provision. I'm not telling all are equal, but we have to treat in the same way. Means equal treatment for nationals of all the trading partners. For example, all the trading countries, partner countries, we should treat equally. This is one principle. Another principle is national treatment. Treatments one's own national and foreigners equally. Sorry, this one. These two principle actually has to be followed by the countries which are binded to WTO. There are some exceptions for developing countries. Even I also don't know. There are many things are there. Then our intellectual properties. Actually, in WTO, there is a discussion about the intellectual properties also, like TRIPS agreement. Means here they are laid the basic principles of trading system on your IP agreements, like how to give adequate protection and how countries should enforce IPR in their own countries, which law they have to bring, how much fine they have to charge if there is an infringement of any law. Like there are several specifications. How to settle the dispute of IPs between the members of WTO. This is very, very important. India and US has fought for the many crops related to IPR issues. Then special transition agreements. There are several things will be there. Our this WTO deals with it. Then, what are the legislation covering IPRs in India? Like patent tax in 1970, it's amended many times. Okay, it covers the rules and regulation for giving the patents. There is a Design Act in 2000, like it enacted in 2000, and Trademark Act came in 1999, and Copyright Act 1957, which amended many times. Okay, and Layout and Design in Circuit Integrated Circuit Act in 2000. Then, who are responsible for the administration of IPR in our country? Okay, for example, you take patent. The Controller General of the Patent actually responsible for patent, trademarks, GI. Then, which ministry is involved? Ministry of Commerce and Industry is majorly involved. And who is the Minister of Commerce and Industry in India?
Chirag Paswan, sir, I think.
Piyush Goyal. Once you check. Okay. Then again, for copyright, Ministry of Human Resource and Development is dealing with it. And for layout designs, Ministry of Telecommunication and Information Technology was dealing with it. And our plant variety actually deals by Ministry of Agriculture and this one. Then, then like it's some of general discussion, but we'll come to the our actual IPR laws. Then what is India's Patent Act 1970? How actually patent system is implemented in India? We will discuss that. For example, in British period only, the acts related to patents were implemented in India. Like first time in 1911, the Indian Patent and Design Act by the British India was implemented these rules. Then after that, there will be appointment of Patent Enquiry Committee in 1948. Then after that, they submitted report at 1950. Still, because of some uh, there will be lack of support or many things, the bill actually passed finally in 1970. Okay. Then what is the meaning of the patent actually? What is patent? It's a one such IPR. Please remember, many times asked in the exam, the time duration of patent, what is patent, and either plants are patentable or not in India, which are the patentable things are in India. Even in PGR, it's very, very important. Then it refers to the grant of some privilege or a property or authority, okay, made by the government. sovereign of the country to one or more individual. Means, for example, you developed something. For example, one product you developed. Many nowadays patents are also, it's like a big scam. Okay, you give 5,000, will get patent. Okay, in Telegram will get. Then what is the meaning of the patent? Means it's some, it's a refers to grant or some privilege or a wait. Sorry. For example, you developed some product. You developed some product. You are getting some rights over that, so that nobody don't have rights to reproduce it or use it until your permission. Okay. If you want to do or a copy, or if you want to use that, you should take license from it. That is the only patent means. Means it actually granted by the controller to the inventor. How much years? 20 years. In India, it is 20 years. Then will have one question. If the pay, for example, for one product, you are getting patent in India. Can we, this rules applies in any other countries? Other countries?
No, sir. Don't
Yeah.
apply in other.
Patents are specific to the countries. That you should remember. What is patent? Means it's any privilege or any benefits or any right given to any product, so that nobody can use without your permission. Okay. But at what time, for example, you develop this product, up to 20 years, you have this monopoly rights. Okay. After 20 years, it will become a public. Then, what rights like make use, exercise, and vend is invention? See, all the words are very important. Either you can use, either you can exercise, or it can vend his invention and secure valuable monetary rights by using himself or by conveying the privileges to others. For example, you develop like CRISPR-Cas. It's developed by still this case is in pending in a court. You know, actually CRISPR was developed in E. coli, but the same CRISPR was developed like this system used to uh, develop some edited genome edited plants. Then he claimed that in plant I have first time used this pet, he can able to get the patent in the plant. But actually those who discovered CRISPR in animal system, like a prokaryotic system, they actually filed a claim. They are using our own mechanism, but due to only the difference in the organism, how they can claim a patent on it. Because there is a little bit change. Here they are using plant system, they are using prokaryotic system. According to existing rules, that's why like the while giving the patent, I will come to later. See, this is our still there are many legalities some legal jargons were there. I'm not going to discuss all those, but still it's a very questionable topic here in the globe actually. Still there is a case you can type what is the CRISPR-Cas9 IPR case. It will come. You read it. Okay, you'll get broader idea how IPR actually important. We normally neglect for exam, but actually this was a very important thing in the trade and monetary benefits. Everything is based on IPR protection only. Please read it. How CRISPR and IPR, it's very important. CRISPR IPR, just type what is the IPR case of CRISPR-Cas9 technology. Detailed story will come. You read it, you will get to know. Okay. Then you just, for example, just remember who grant the patent in India. Okay, there is a separate authority. Okay, like he will actually controllers and control of the patent authority has given the patents to the inventor, and how much time? 20 years. If you know this much, is more than enough. But when Indian Patent Act is like enacted in 1970, you know this three information is more than enough. But you want to know about the present trending of this IPR. Please read this article. Very, very important. Then, what is the objectives? Means right of patentee to gain commercial advantage out of his invention or encourage the inventor or invest their creative faculties knowing that the invention will be protected by law. For example, if it is like why many countries, for example, take Indian pharmacy, there are different types of product patents for there. Here we can't take patents on procedures. How you develop this one, you can't patent in India. You just go through it. Okay, like pharmacy, drugs, and there are several product-based patent, process-based patents. Okay, that I'm not going detail, but if you are interested, please read it. In that course, my lecturer used to cover a lot of things. I'm not going in detail about all those things, but you just remember the duration, how much year you can able to enjoy the benefits of the patent act, patent protection up to 20 years. After that, it will become public. You can't get the benefits as same like it. But copyrights, we discuss that. What is the difference? Which, what is a patentable invention? This is very, very important. For example, you want to get a patent, what criteria it need to be followed? Okay. For example, you should have inventiveness, usefulness, you should have industrial application, it must be non-obvious, okay, and it should be a new product or a process. And it should be useful and it should have some industrial application. Please read all these four properties are very, very important. What is the meaning? You can understand easily what is new procedure. No need to explain. What is non-obviousness? For example, um, like take some carpenter is there. Carpenting work, the carpenting art is obvious to this carpenter. You can't take you can't take patents. For example, carpenter created any carpenting work, can't make patent out of this because it's the obvious nature of carpenter. That's why the invention should be non-obvious to its nature. Then only it can be patented. Then it should be have some industrial application. Even though it is a new, sometimes all new things are not industrially applicable. That's why, and it's not useful also. All new processes are not useful. It should be new, it should be useful, it should have industrial application, and it must be non-obvious to the nature of this one. Okay. Then, in spite of even all these things be fulfilled, but some are not patented in India, but maybe patented in other countries. Like for example, the invention which are injurious to public health. Like take some new strain of corona mutant. It can be patented or not? Can't be patented because it is injurious to public health. Then, if it violates any public morality or public interest, for example, you generate some biological weapon, it is against of the public morality or public interest. Can't do that. And serious prejudice to human or animal or planet life health to the environment, same points only. Or new method of agriculture. This is very, very important. For example, you developed any new method of agriculture like developing a crop, it can't be patented. That you should remember. Then a process of treatment to human beings, it is also not patented. And invention related to atomic energy, it is also not patented in India. For our purpose, a process, a new method of agriculture or horticulture cannot be patented. This point is very, very important for us. Okay? Then, this is about the patent. In summary, what is patent? You should know what is the Patent Act when it is enacted. Then, what is the duration? What is the nature of the patent? You should eligible to get the patent. Then, which are not patentable in India. That is very important. All these points are very important. Then, while applying the patent, What has to be followed? You want to apply a patent. How are you going to apply? You develop something, a product. If you're all researcher, at least you develop some chips, like DNA chip for SNP genotyping. You develop a chip. How will you get patent for it? For example, take you have developed some protocol to develop DNA isolation. How will you get patent? No one is there.
We will go to that controller general of patents, sir, and we will submit application.
Yeah. Oh, wait. In application submission, what are the things you should mention? For example, I will tell one example. The disclosure of the information. Disclosure of information, very, very important thing in the patent. More the disclosure, more will be the security. For example, the patent laws come. For example, you are getting more rights, solo rights, or more power of that right will be there when you having more disclosure. Can anybody guess what point I am going to discuss? What is the meaning of this one?
We have to reveal everything about our invention, sir, to
Yeah.
the
If it is
government,
not,
I
why you will
think.
get? Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. Why?
Because if someone else copies something, means if something is also only small things also copied, they will reject their patents, sir. The government will reject their patent. Something, if something is also matched, they will reject their patent.
Yeah,
That means
yeah,
they will give right to us.
yeah. For example, we'll take in a simpler way. I'll tell. For example, you want to get a patent for DNA isolation technology. And how will you isolate the DNA? What is the procedure steps? First, you isolate
The leaf
the
sample.
leaf sample, then you crush it, then treat with which one? This one? Treat with
C-tab.
CTAB buffer. The next,
CIOs.
what?
Chloroform isomable alcohol.
Yeah. Then you will not get patent. You should, for example, leaf. You are taking leaf. Okay, this is okay, common thing. Then you are told like crushing. How you are crushing? You are not disclosing. CTAB, how much ml you had to add? Either you had to add crushed sample or direct leaf sample. Then which method of your crushing you are using? Either through which crushing you are using, either how much length you are cutting. For example, either you have to crush in a smaller leaves or a bigger leaves. It has to be disclosed in detail. Each and every point you should disclose. For example, there is one step. After CTAB, adding CTAB, you should keep it in a water bath. How will you keep in a water bath? For example, either you will heat the water, then you put the sample, or either while heating only you are keeping the sample, or you are keeping in any container or putting in the water bath. Every single, what I'm going to say is, every single information of your protocol is very, very important in getting the patent. If some modification will do, so for example, they will do in water bath only, they will have slight change in the steps also, they may get new patent. Your whole invention will going to get this one. That's why disclosure of each and every information is very, very, more is the disclosure, more power you are going to get. Okay? That's what the patent like that's one tenses. You have to disclose all the information of the protocol to while giving the application is mandatory action. Then you will get more benefits. That's what one point I want to discuss regarding patent. Understood what is patents?
Yes, sir.
Now I'm moving to copyrights. Many nowadays we know we are using social media. All the things are copied. If you make someone is made real, if you are shared without his permission, uh, if he not allows you, then it is also copyright violation. So, for example, if you're using any other videos in your channel, that is also copyright violation. Okay. Then I think many of you know, like it's a right given by law to creators, either literary, dramatic, musicals, reels, whatever it may be. Okay, but you should know when it is enacted in 1957, how much duration? How much duration? Actually, it is for 60 years. For example, if it does, after the past will, like who are the rightful here, they will they will responsible, the rights will transfer to them. Okay, but 60 years generally will get a copyright right for our any creations. Okay? There's no nothing new discussion for this. Another IPR is trademark. Like you can see the different trademarks. Just remember when the Trademark Act came in 1999, and what is the timings of this trademark? Like what is the how much period you can have enjoy the rights? 10 years. But every time you have to renew this. Okay? After 10 years, every 10 years you have to renew your application so that your rights will be preserved. Okay, any element, either it may be words, either it may be symbol, either it may be figure, whatever it may be. Either it may be any figure, either it may be any design of, say, Coca-Cola. Just letters were there. Google, there's a color combination will be there. Starbucks, one human image, like a lady image was there. Adidas, one symbol was there. Like Unilever, there is a U-shaped symbol was. See, these are all trademarks. This is preserved. You can't use YouTube the same thing to your any product. You can't use this McDonald's to your. You can have to say at least in a different way. You can't do same this structure for your product. Okay. There are nowadays also in India it's become best. Like nowadays we are instead of Adidas we are getting Abidas also. Like Bisclery we having Bilseri. There are many things. Trademark violation. They're all coming under trademark violation. Like infringement of IPR laws. You know when it is enacted and how much year it will get protection. Then our important thing is geographical indications. Means please go through the logo. GI logo was this one. Invaluable treasures of incredible India. They say like is a quote of or J logo. Like then J this one. Mainly thing when it is acted presently which crop is got J tag. This is only very important. Nothing is important. Many times an exam is repeated. What is the geographical indication right? Means it's a right given to any community or a region or a locality, okay, to preserve. For example, you take sandalwood of Karnataka, like it's having GI tag. For example, you take Makhana of Bihar, it having the GI tag. And we have in Karnataka actually highest GI tags were there, like Mysore, like Coorg Mandarin. There are many things. Either it may be agricultural product or Chenpatna toys. There are several J things we can. Either it may be agricultural, either it may be artistic, either it may be anything. Okay, but it has to given for the community right. It is community right. When the GI Act was passed in 1999, and the main headquarters present in Chennai. You remember this much is more than enough. Then what is the benefit? Why, if the GI tag is comes, what is the benefit? Normally we think, okay, some product is getting GI tag. What benefits they are going to get? Means they get legal protection to the geographical indications in India. For example, Assam tea was there. If in Delhi also tea is grown, then if you label it as Assam tea, if you label it as Assam tea, it's actually crime in India. Okay, you can't label. It's not means that you can't produce the same Assam tea in Delhi, but you have to follow all the requirements they are following in Assam. You should also follow all the requirements. Then only you can claim, okay, this is Assam tea. Okay. Then prevents unauthorized use of registered geographical indication by others, and it provides legal protection to the Indian geographical indication, which turn to like mainly boost expert, like one district, one product. Like see, like many station railway station, you'll get to see one district, one product stalls. For example, in each district, we have in our district we have a fig. Okay, means it like that. Our district fig is having a unique feature. If somebody using their fig with our names, we can claim in the court and we can get compensation. Then we'll get because if export boost, then definitely we'll get a good economic prosperity. Okay, that's why GI tags are very important, and many are struggling to get the GI tags. Like we have a lot of GI tags nowadays. Every year, at least many 10 to more than 10 crops will going to getting GI tags. Okay, these were the main IPRs that one I wanted to discuss. Okay, patents, copyrights, and rest are they're not important layout and designs. Okay, these are not that much important, but you should know what is patent, what is the legality of patent, what is the nature of the patent, then what is patentable invention in India, what is not patentable, what is copyright, what is trademark, what is GI tax and uses of GI tax. And tomorrow, I think today only after some time I will record the class. Okay, I have to go somewhere. PPFRA, I need a lot of time to discuss PPFRA. Okay, then tomorrow we'll discuss PPFRA. What is this? By any doubts? Like you watched my recorded videos on genetics?
No, sir, still no.
Yeah, please watch it. And if any doubts, please contact me at any time. So basic things. That's why I'm going very simple way. And these are also because, even for me also, it's very difficult in go in detail about IPR rules. But for exam purpose, what is required, I just covered all the points. For very interested, please, I will share the one document was there, like IPR notes were there. I will share that if you want. Like one very important book was there. I think I was reading from Google. Like it's very important article was there. I will share that article. It's very very important. It covers all the disputes of IPR, especially for the biotechnological things, like how the CRISPR-Cas9 is struggling with IPR laws, how siRNA technology was the product. You know, even though genome-edited crop, rice crop has developed, they had to take patent permission from the CRISPR-Cas9 developers. You know, from like one university was there. Actually, I forgotten. Now patent rights with one of the University of Germany, I think US or Germany. You have to, if you are developing any genome-edited line by using CRISPR, before releasing, you have to take the permission from there, patent rights from there. It's a huge thing, and huge money you have to pay in the form of license, or if you are using the patent, you have to give a lot of money to them. That's why very very important to know about IPR things, and recent trendings in IPR is very very important. That's what I'm discussing. But I just why I have discussed these things. If you know all these legalities, then only you can understand the PPFRA. If you don't know all those things, you're never going to understand PPFRA. Today I will come up with a very good PPFRA, why we implemented PPFRA, why can't we adjust it with already see we passed so many laws, IPR laws. Why can't we accommodate the plants into any of these IPR laws? Why India has developed a separate system for IPR laws? What is the need of it? That I will going to discuss tomorrow. Okay. Then, if any doubts, you can ask any topics related to any topics. I have 5 minutes discussion. No doubts?
Sir, in India, they are using the trademark, na, sir, you said that
Yeah, yeah.
Abibas, Bisleri. Won't those
Actually, now
companies
I told
keep
now in
case on
India
that?
because small. I told like even a small change also may be a different thing. Na? May they may claim, but in India nobody will care about it. Who will complain, who will do these things. Okay, that is the problem. In India, IPR is like negligence value. Only copyright sometime we hear news about it. For small things, nobody will care actually. That's the problem. But in other
Corporate
countries,
also,
IPR laws are very strict.
corporate also, YouTube is applying it strictly, sir. That is not Indian company, na?
Yeah, maybe that's what. But Indian, they had to follow all Indian rules of copyrights. Copyrights are wherever the economic, like wherever the money is there, there is always a problem. That's it. If nobody so there are small business who will worry about it. Okay, like in distillery companies, you can there are a lot of trademark violation were there. Nobody will cares actually. In India, nobody will cares. Even the IPR you violated legally, the fines you will laugh actually. Like 2,000, 3,000, 1 year imprisonment, they are negligible. But in other countries, they are very stringent laws were there. That's why IPRs are maintained. Then any doubts? Okay. Like after I will cover a PCR. That's why I'm recording these classes. It's not interesting, I know. If I record a class, if interested can just watch it. It's not a discussable things. Just keep on telling the things. Okay. That's why I'll cover all. I think I have left with only one chapter PPFR from PGR. Okay. And economic botany, anyhow, I'm covering. I cover rice, maize, and wheat also will cover. But rest other crops you cover yourself because even you have to cover all the points. I will give the notes. Actually, I made the notes, I think, for them. I'll give the notes. Okay, either you can go through it. Okay. Bye. Bye,
Okay,
everyone. Good night. Yeah.
good night.
Good night. I think from tomorrow I will start quantitative genetics. Bye.